A north-south freeway was proposed in Spokane decades ago, but it is still years from being finished. So what does the new timeline look like? Tonight we've got answers in a special Boomtown report.
Governor Inslee visited Spokane earlier today. He started by visiting the Catalyst building on East Sprague. Tonight we tell you more about that project and the governor's visit.
Lori Vallow and her husband Chad Daybell have now been indicted on first-degree murder charges in the deaths of Lori's kids, Tylee and JJ. Tonight we're breaking down the latest development in this complicated case.
Tracking some heavy rain showers and isolated thunderstorms, that and your weekend forecast coming up. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News at 6. I'm Tom Sherry. Mark's off tonight.
And I'm Whitney Ward. It's good to have you here tonight.
Well, today the Spokane Arena mass vaccination site is hosting a vaccination happy hour. They're administering the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It all started at 5 o'clock. It goes another hour. It'll end at 7.
Yeah, so people have been streaming in there basically since it started at 5 o'clock. For the latest, we want to turn straight to Regina On, who is outside talking to people as they go in. Hi, Regina. How's it going out there?
Hi, Whitney. Yeah, so a lot of fun out here, guys. I mean, there's been a steady amount of people coming through, driving in, parking to experience this happy hour. And something that I didn't say earlier is that they're raffling off tickets for Dude Perfect, which is a famous YouTuber out there. So that's really cool. And they're going to be doing this every pop-up event. So be sure to put your name in that little raffle ticket because that's really awesome. Also, oh, hi! How are you? I said Boomer was the Shocks at 5 o'clock. He's not. He's with the Chiefs. And do you forgive me? Yay. Okay, guys, but really a lot of fun out here from 5 to 7. They're going to be doing this every week, and you get to take a picture and say that you got vaccinated. And of course, you have David's Pizza here, and I've been learning how to be a pizza artiste. It's doing great. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you get to roll some dough, add some, what is that, cornmeal and tomato paste. I don't know what goes into a pizza. All right, guys, I do have some dough skills. Do you have a minute that I can show you this? Okay.
Let me get this out of the bag for you.
But really, this is a great event. Organizers here from the Spokane Regional Health District say this is just a fun event to bring people out, as many people out, so we can hit that 70%. So more businesses like David's Pizza can open at full capacity with full employees and get that started and get that going. And so, okay, skills here. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you guys are ready for this. All right, let me do this.
Just like we practiced. You ready?
We've been practicing for 3 hours, guys. So if I don't get this, this is gonna be really sad. Okay, you put your 2 hands like this and then you spin it. Nice. Okay, such a good teacher, I think. All right, but you know, I did talk to a couple people here today. One in particular saying this is really important to her for a really good reason, and it goes back to her school as well. So take a listen here.
The reason I got it was to protect people first, and my mom was on me about getting it. Also, I'm a volleyball player, so if we have a certain amount of athletes that are vaccinated, then we won't have to do COVID testing anymore or wear masks. So that's like a big plus, and that helps us a lot as athletes.
Yeah, and a lot of young people out here today to get those vaccinations. And you do have the opportunity to get the Moderna vaccine as well here today, which I wasn't sure I said that in the earlier shows as well. So you get the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine option there. And before I go, Tom Sherry, 2 of your biggest fans are here. Doug and Christy, say hi.
Hello, Tom Sherry.
All right, guys, having a lot of fun out here. If you have a chance and if you need a vaccine, come on down here at the arena. For now, live in Spokane, Regina On, KREM 2 News.
We're doing everything we can to give people access to the vaccine. It is extremely accessible to everyone now. We want to make sure people have information because we know this is a safe vaccine. You're seeing ads from multiple physicians advising people this is a safe vaccine.
Those vaccination rates across Washington, not yet where health leaders want them to be. Right now, we know about 60% of those who are eligible for the vaccine in Washington have so far been vaccinated. Hospitalizations from COVID, those have steadily declined, but hospitals actually remain near capacity still. With Memorial Day coming up, health experts are warning people not to let your guard down yet. The good news is they are starting to see a correlation, though, between vaccine rates and hospitalization rates all across the state. So Governor Gov Inslee, as you saw, paid a visit to Spokane today earlier in the afternoon. He started out at the Catalyst building on East Sprague to talk about climate change.
He then met with local leaders at Hope House 2.0 to discuss homelessness in the city. KREM 2's Ian Smay was at the Catalyst building for the start of the governor's trip.
Governor Inslee arrived at the Catalyst building at about 10:30 Tuesday morning. The building is the result of a partnership between Avista and Eastern Washington University, and Governor Inslee got a tour of all the projects going on. The Catalyst building is a $64 million, 159,000 square foot building that produces just as much energy as it uses. It's also the city's first zero emission and zero carbon building. The idea is for the Catalyst to be a model to design energy conscious buildings. During his tour today, Governor Gov Inslee said there will be more in Washington state.
What you see in Catalyst is the first of, I believe, will be hundreds of projects across the state of Washington, in part funded by the Climate Commitment Act that the legislature passed and I signed last week. So we see a vision of the future that is going to be worldwide at some point, starting right here in Spokane. I could not be more excited.
While there, he watched presentations about the building and is now taking home a piece of EWU's original red turf.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. It'll fit perfectly.
Inslee visited the university's first dedicated space for occupational therapy. He also saw Avista's power grid simulator, which allows them to prepare for different scenarios affecting their network.
Well, this is fantastic. To have a simulation capability in this is, it's just a godsend to do all this work. And obviously you're using it in such an innovative capacity, and I love the fact that you're coordinating with climate change.
Inslee then went to Volunteers of America's Hope House 2.0. While there, he met with local leaders to discuss homelessness in the city. He heard about Hope House 2.0's goal of providing housing to women in need.
You might know this building just opened recently. It's one of very few in our nation where we've partnered both an emergency shelter on the bottom floor and permanent supportive housing on the top floor. So you don't see this model very frequently. We're very excited to roll it out here in Spokane community.
Inslee was joined on that trip to the new Hope House by Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward. Now, there were some people protesting in support of the effort to recall Governor Inslee during his visit today. There were only about 3 of those people here at the Catalyst building, but their group had grown to about a dozen by the time he went to Hope House 2.0 later in the day. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Thank you very much. As the reporters have been out and about, they've been maybe dodging a couple of raindrops, and it sounds like those are moving in now lots of places.
Yeah, especially across northern Idaho and western Montana. A little bit of light rain here in the Spokane. We'll continue to see this, especially until the sun sets tonight. And then we've got another weather system that's going to move in Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and then into Friday. We'll look for temperatures in the 70s Saturday, warming to the 80s by Memorial Day Monday. Honest to gosh, Memorial Day right now looks like it may feel more like 4th of July. 65 degrees right now. We've got wind out of the southeast at 17 miles per hour. When you take a look at the Doppler radar, you can see a little bit of rain in Spokane County and also down into the Palouse. More showers across areas of northern Idaho. So there's the rain. So it looks like pretty much from downtown out to or maybe east of downtown out towards the Spokane Valley. And then even an isolated thunderstorm that was moving up Lake Pend Oreille a little bit earlier this evening. We'll look for an overnight low of 47 degrees. Should get up to 71 tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a mostly quiet day. We could get pop-up showers in the afternoon, but I don't think it'll be nearly as active as what we saw today. And then look at the holiday weekend. Saturday, 71. Sunday, 79 degrees. We could get into the mid-80s on Monday, and some areas on Monday here in eastern Washington could actually see temperatures close to 90 degrees. Wow.
Get off of his neck!
1 year ago today, a former Minneapolis police officer killed George Floyd while people watched in protest. His death sparked outrage and months of demonstrations and riots all around the U.S. with demands for police reform.
Today, members of Floyd's family, including his young daughter Gianna, went to Washington, D.C., where they first met House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and then California Congresswoman Karen Bass.
Being here today is an honor, you know, to meet with the president and the vice president and for them to show their concern to our family.
Floyd's death sparked months of protests and some riots throughout the country and around the world, renewing calls for police reform. President Biden had asked Congress to pass legislation by today's anniversary, but lawmakers not going to meet that goal. The Justice Department has opened a probe into policing practices in Minneapolis, and the 4 former officers that were involved in Floyd's arrest and death have been indicted on federal civil rights charges. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was convicted of Floyd's murder. He's scheduled to be sentenced a month from now. A local judge has delayed the state trial of the other 3 officers involved in George Floyd's death due to that federal case.
And vigils and events will be held across the country today, including right here in Spokane. There will be a George Floyd memorial at the Spokane Pavilion this evening. It starts in less than an hour at 7 o'clock. Everyone is asked to bring candles, chalk, and just be ready to reflect. Anyone is invited to attend. They are calling it a peaceful event, and they say masks will be required.
Well, Spokane has one